it was definitely stressful. You're grinding away. You're like, dude, when am I ever going to use this? With computer science and software engineering, you go to Google and answer forum that someone posts on. It's like, oh, I'm a software engineer at Lockheed Martin, and here's a similar problem. So it's like, oh, I'm doing similar things that like guys that are building missiles are doing.
So you said you had to basically like throw yourself into taking all these computer science classes and just like had to like immerse yourself into it. Was there something initially that like captured your interest? Because for you to be able to dive into that, you really had to grind, it sounded like. Was it more of a, I just kind of got to do this because this is where I ended up, and then you ended up loving it? Or was there something that like caught you right away where you're like, oh, I really enjoy doing this stuff?
I think it was a little bit of both. Like I knew like, all right, I'm already in my 5th year of school. Like I need to graduate and get out of here at some point. But at the same time, like I said, I had taken that computer science class as an elective, but I ended up being really good at it. And it kind of captured my interest. But at that point, it's like an intro level, whatever, you're just doing basics, like, like making your computer print hello world to you and stuff like that. But, as I took some other classes, so you start seeing like more interesting things that you can do. And then, you're just like Googling, like, like everyone hears like artificial intelligence and stuff like that. Like you start looking into like the different things that you can actually do with the computer. And I was like, I wanted to go into engineering, but I think it's more because I just like have like a problem solving mindset. Like growing up, like I love building Legos. I love like doing puzzles, stuff like that. And, computer science, software engineering is the same thing. Like you get a problem and you're tasked to figure out a solution. So it was definitely stressful, like taking that many classes. And initially I threw myself at it like, hey, like I plan on graduating by the end of 2019. So like, I need to have it done. But as I started doing that, I was like, this I'm putting in these crazy hours, but at the same time, it wasn't even that bad because most of the stuff I was doing was actually super interesting. Which is not the case in a lot of college classes, as I'm sure you know. You're grinding away. You're like, dude, when am I ever going to use this? But like, like with computer science and software engineering, like, I'm doing this, and then like, you go to Google and answer or something that you can't figure out, and like the forum that someone posts on, it's like, oh, I'm a software engineer at Lockheed Martin, and here's a similar problem. So it's like, oh, I'm doing similar things that like guys that are building missiles are doing, right? So you can instantly see the real world application of what you're doing right there in school. Now that was something that was really cool. It definitely made it easier to like grind away in the library until 3 a.m. to like get something in. But